I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. The 2025 Green Bay Packers Tailgate Tour stopped by Madison last night at Garver Feed Mill. Jim, Matt, and Molly were on site where they were joined by Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy. There's a rumor the Packers president would like to dispel about the upcoming draft in Green Bay.
And the rumor that I have told Brian that he cannot trade out of the first round is not true. I went up to Brian after that, and I said, Brian, if you think the best thing for the Packers is to trade out of the first round, do it. We'll probably get booed, but yeah, I know, you might.
Mark Murphy last night on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Catch the full conversation on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Plenty of conversation coming up, recapping the Tailgate Tour stop on Wilde and Tausch starting in just a couple of moments. Baseball, how about 17 runs for the Milwaukee Brewers last night? 17-2. The Crew topped the Colorado Rockies, going for the sweep this afternoon. 2:10 first pitch on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Wow, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
It is the Thursday edition. Great to be back in my basement with the dogs and the cats and all my junk that Paula doesn't want anywhere else in the house. But it was great to be with our team, our Madison team yesterday. What a fun day it was. Edition. The Tucker Kraft having a great old time with Jim, Matt, and Molly at the Blind Shot. Is that the place we were at?
That is
what
correct.
That's called?
Yes.
It's got like golf simulators and stuff, and Tucker can hit the ball a little bit too. I didn't see any of Lukas Van Ness's swings, but I saw them interacting with the kids and the fans. It was great to be part of that as well. Edition. And is my guy Murph doing material now? He knows that you're allowed to trade out of the first round story is an applause line, so now he's doing material because he told us that like a month and a half ago.
We got to get the Chippewa Falls
Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter-ish, Facebook, still trying to figure it out again, but definitely YouTube. And, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app, although some very exciting changes coming very soon. And if you thought the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin acting was brilliant by Big Bird and me, oh, you should see what we've got in store for you after yesterday. I hope we have the outtakes edition. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay, where I belong. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. But he was there for this guy, delivering a tour de force MC performance at last night's Tailgate tour in Madison stop. It is the Packers Hall of Famer. It's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I have a GPS issue. I plugged in last night. I had to drop Max off somewhere before I headed over to the event, and they're kind of willy-nilly, this GPS system. I punch it in to this blind social. Don't be shaking your head at me. I pull in, and I go park, and I'm thinking, all right, well, this place got to be right here. I go in, and I didn't put in Garver Feed Mill, just for the record. That's not what I put in my phone. I put in Blind Shot, house blah, blah, blah club, wherever the VIP thing was.
Blind Shot Social Club was the name of the place. Great place.
Yeah,
Great food, golf simulators, good drinks.
Yeah, it's great. So I put it in.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's got me going into the Garver Feed Mill. So I walk in, and it's like, well, this is the regular event. I'm meeting my brother and his two of his kids that are big Packer fans. So I didn't know where to be found. I ended up being good. I ended up having to walk about a mile to get over
Walk a mile
there.
in your shoes. Wait a minute. First, all right. First,
You guys know what this is, by the way? You guys know what this little guy is?
that is a protein muffin from 2019.
Yes.
Yuck.
A pre-pandemic muffin.
Looks
Yes.
good.
So
Boy, they're good.
First
Still
of all,
moist,
yes,
succulent.
I'm sure it is.
Still irritated with my daughter about that.
I am Team Eleanor all the way. Eleanor. All right. Question one. You say I punched it into my GPS.
Correct.
Not as old of a reference as Dallas, but you have GPS on your vehicle from Zimbrick,
phone.
or do you?
No, I put it on my
so
phone.
you do use your phone? Okay.
Yeah,
so
I
you
use my phone app. Yeah.
Okay. I did the same thing because I had never been to Blind Shot Social Club. And I would agree with you, and I'm not being condescending, I'm being agreeable.
All right.
It was a little confusifying.
No, it wasn't a little confusing. It was wrong.
Well, okay, hold
not
on.
confusing. This was like The Office where they drove you into a pond. The exact same thing.
Never seen that
except
episode. I've never
pond.
seen that show. Because when I punched it in, it's like on the ground floor of like an apartment complex over on Fair Oaks. It's an area that.
By the way, beautiful building.
Yeah,
Garver
great.
Feed Mill's gorgeous.
Yeah, really cool, right? But I went into the parking lot.
Made me want to get my shovel out and get that corn and those oats. Back at the old feed mill when I was rolling through. That's what it made me want to do.
And just to be clear, you had a variety of different shovels on the farm. You weren't using the same shovel to shovel that and then shovel some other things, right? Like there were designated shovels for different
You mean
purposes.
shovel and manure?
Well, yeah.
You had a manure shovel, and then you had a feed shovel. Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious. So I put it in too, and it was hard to figure out where it was. It was underneath. It was in the ground floor of that building. So I went into the parking lot where the residents were, and then I came back out. Then I went across the street. So I'm going to give you some grace on that, and not just be Judgy McJudgerson, but I'm not sure. Like a smart guy like you, I guess I'm a little surprised that you weren't more problem-solvy.
What? I did solve it. I walked. I solved it, but it's annoying.
So where did you park?
I parked by Garver Feed Mill.
So it was actually convenient then when it was time to leave.
Well, it was great when I
Trying
had
to
to
look at it
leave,
as a
but
positive.
yeah, I wanted to get there because I wanted to talk pickleball with Tucker. I wanted to catch up with my old partners and Amon and Chimp. So I was still able to do that. It was fine.
Chimp?
But Chimp, I didn't see the
wait a minute.
I didn't see the bus. So when I didn't see the bus, I started thinking, okay, maybe I'm off here. And then I saw two younger kids that I know well that are buddies with Max. I saw them running around. I'm like, okay, I know they're going to the same place. Why are they running this way? As I'm going to park my car in a little gravel parking lot over at the mill, and so it wasn't like it was in the mill. It wasn't even mill adjacent. It was across the road adjacent. I had to go through a ditch. I'm almost, if there was rain, I would have had to swam across the channel to get over to the blind shot.
I don't think you swim across a channel.
A channel
goes under.
Well, I'm just telling you how it played out. Luckily, it's been a dry spring, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Well, thank God you made it, because I heard rave reviews of your MC work once you eventually arrived. You did arrive at the Blind Shot Social Club, where all the tour members were, including sitting down with Jim, Matt, and Molly. Tucker Kraft, he turned around, everybody was gone. He talked to Jim, Matt, and Molly for so long. I do need to clarify, because I've never heard this nickname before. Is Marco Rivera Chimp?
Yes.
Is there a history behind that nickname, and is it appropriate for the ring?
You covered us for every year.
Yeah, that's
You're
why
in
it's
the
such a
locker room.
shocking piece
No,
of information
we called
to
him
me.
Chimp in front. Like that makes me wonder how thorough you did your stuff. That's irritating. You don't know that. That's going to irritate with you.
It's going to be one of those days.
Oh, no.
I irritated him at
seems
the end of yesterday's show, and now it's carrying over. Well, it was great to see Marco Rivera. He is one of the all-time
He's
greats.
got a fresh hip. He's moving around good. He posed for a picture. So there's there are a lot of kids in wheelchairs, and we did a big photo thing at the social, and Marco got down and was like, he looked like an old catcher. He looked like Mackie Sasser, getting down in a crouch, and I'm looking at him like, how are you doing that? He goes, I got him in the gym. I got a new hip. His back is good. He looks fresh as a daisy. And John Michaels, who I had not met before. I think maybe I met him at a different alumni, but not sat down and actually talked to him. Really interesting guy. So it was. Did you end up talking to Billy Schrader at all?
I did not. We missed each other, which was obviously disappointing.
You missed each other. I
both
saw
of us.
you. You were there for 45 minutes right there with him.
He went over to the golf simulator.
didn't cross.
Our paths didn't cross, yeah. And then I appeared on Jim, Matt, and Molly before, as the warm-up act before Mark Murphy. Like, I opened for the comic, and then the big star, the star tight end, then was the final guest for them. So, yeah, I didn't get to catch up with them. I talked to a few of the folks from Dairyland Sports, which it basically does adaptive sports for kids in wheelchairs and battling different abilities, which I thought they were a great group. And what a cool thing that they do. I was founded in 2017. I talked for a while with some folks, and that was really neat. And it was, something that I enjoyed the conversation, and I don't think Billy would have enjoyed talking to me, and I don't think vice versa, as you like to say, would have been the case either. So I got to
think
talk.
You're scared, and you didn't want any confrontation. That's what I think.
I mean, it is a charitable event, but no, I'm not scared. Like, he doesn't like me, I don't like him. What more?
Okay.
What's the
That's
point? I like
Can't
Marco
argue that.
Rivera. Had a great conversation with him. He's a rancher. He's got 35 cattle. He'd like to come on the show, by the way. He said at this point he hasn't gotten more invites.
I tried to get him on the players only. He's full of baloney. He knows he's had invites. And I had to check with AG because I know Amon's doing a bunch of media stuff. So obviously there can be some conflict if you're on a competing station or if you're doing something else. I get all that. And AG's like, no, I'll come on whenever. And I said, well, I tried to get you on, and I showed him. And this goes back to phone issues. I showed him because we did the Philly game, and I don't remember what other players only we did.
The Lions game.
And I had sent him 2 texts, and I said, you never responded. And then he shows me that he responded, but it didn't show up on my phone.
What?
So it was a real who's who of like, well, I think you're baloneying me, and I'm baloneying you. And it turns out in a rare case, nobody was baloneying anybody. Unless he has some edit app that he can put on there and as in real time. Because I was like, did you change your number? And he said, no, I got the same number. I said, well, here, I showed you. I sent you this. And then he said, well, I sent you it back. And I said, oh, okay, well, something happened. So
he's scheduled
to
appear at 10:30?
A lot of technological issues that have popped up.
Okay. Well, I'm glad
But what I learned what I learned last night
Well, wait a minute.
in this thing, and I'll be curious if Jesse learned this. Almost every question that was asked was directed to Tucker Kraft. I would say it was 90. So I, as a pseudo MC, tried to direct and get everybody involved.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, that's
Tony
you.
Fisher
Distributor. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But Tucker Kraft, I believe.
Oh, boy.
You can tell. No, I'm not going to say anything crazy. You can tell he is taking on a leadership role. He's grabbing mics. You can see his confidence swell from last season. You saw it a little bit in the exit interviews with some commentary he made. He wants to be a leader. He loves the city of Green Bay. He is embracing this role, and I think it's great that he's out as a front-forward person. I believe he is going to be the second most popular Green Bay Packer on this football team. I think he is going to elevate to that degree. Right behind Jordan Love, he is going to be the face of this team moving forward. That's what I believe. Jesse, do you buy what I'm selling after what we saw last night?
He was undoubtedly the most popular player on the Tailgate tour. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't close.
Just thinking about players who, when I'm a fan at Lambeau last year, players who make a big play, the crowd goes crazy. You can think of who those guys have been over the years. Jordy Nelson comes to mind, among others. Donald Driver. Tucker Kraft was the guy last year when he made a huge play. Everyone in the stands goes, there's just that little extra energy when he makes a big play. So, yeah, I think the evidence is there already that he's probably number 2 right now, as long as the receivers.
No, Josh Jacobs would be ahead of him.
No, I think Tucker Kraft right now
I disagree.
Is more popular than Josh Jacobs.
I'll say this. The other thing that I heard a lot last night from mostly younger kids was the disappointment that Josh Jacobs wasn't there. That's the other thing I heard a lot. So, yes, and that's why I'm not crowning Tucker. I think he has positioned himself, and if he goes out and balls like we think he's going to, he will surpass Josh Jacobs as kind of that guy. That's what I think.
Well, I'm glad that you clarified that, because I was about to say, and I don't want to run down Lukas Van Ness. He was very pleasant, and he very much acknowledges that this is a critical year for him.
Strong son of a gun. You can tell the handshake, big hand.
Did you do some pass sets against him with some big oven mitts to see if he's got the moves like you saw in the video?
No.
Okay. Because strength, you have to have counter moves, I've been taught by one former right tackle. But in all fairness, he and Tucker are the only 2 current players even on the tour.
Correct.
So if Josh Jacobs were there, I think there would have been a lot of people very excited to see Josh Jacobs.
There would have been a lot of questions. Josh Jacobs would have gotten more questions than Tucker Kraft. That's my point to you.
I don't think so.
Yes.
What if Jordan Love had
you're
been?
wrong. Jordan Love would have gotten every question. I would say Mark Murphy.
Tucker's third.
Mark Murphy was by far the second star of the show last night.
We got to get the Chippewa.
Well, he also has a comedy act. In fairness, he's got a comedy act that nobody else
does.
has.
He's who's that? Nate Bargatze? Is that who? He's definitely got a routine.
I think Murphy might keep going on the Tailgate tour even when he's not the president anymore. He just wants to go and do a little stand-up routine before
he's going to open for Seinfeld too. So I want to get to one of the things that he did say, which we already knew because Goody had told us this during the
You're talking about him refuting
combine.
Ben Brust's report? You know, Benny Brust's report was refuted last night.
No.
What?
Yes.
Jesse, you gave me a rundown of all the interesting stuff that wasn't included.
I missed that one. What?
Ben Brust's report was refuted by Mark Murphy last
For
night.
those of you who don't know what we're just talking about, Ben Brust reported that the Green Bay Packers will play the Pittsburgh Steelers. By the way, I totally missed this. Can you recap how Aaron Rodgers went on that Pat McAfee show last night and announced he's playing for the Steelers? Can you give me more on that?
I didn't see any of McAfee's show.
Yeah, but you usually catch highlights, like you. I'm sure
Yeah, but
you saw
I didn't
highlights.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I did
Jelly
not
Roll
catch
was
any
there.
of that.
Your guy Jelly Roll.
I love Jelly Roll. Love J Roll.
Tausch going to get some face tattoos next in support and solidarity. Ben Brust's report is that the Packers and Steelers are playing in Dublin on September 28th.
Yes.
And you're telling me, and we'll get to it next because we're going to talk about a variety of things that were discussed.
Well, I'll tell you this. Pablo was following me around, like kind of annoying me a little bit last night with that camera.
Okay.
You know, he's doing the digital. He's doing a great job, by the way.
Yeah.
He's doing a great
just,
job.
Can you let me
finish?
finish?
Was annoying me.
Yeah. No,
Set it up
he's
nicer.
well, he did a great job. He captured a lot of content. I would bet that he captured that content. Mark Murphy basically said Pittsburgh gets the chance to protect 2 games, and they're going to protect the Steelers-Packers game. That's what he said last night. Now, whether or not that's accurate or not, I don't know. That's what Mark Murphy said.
Okay. We will find out soon enough whether Ben's reporting was inaccurate, and I'm sure we will treat him appropriately if it turns out that his source was bad. I know we have a great source for windows and doors, and that is Gina Della. Great actor, great businesswoman, got a lot going on at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, all throughout the tour last night, everybody was talking about the draft. Are you nervous about having that many people up there? Mark, I can't believe you're out here when the draft is coming 2 weeks away. Well, there's a lot of buzz surrounding the draft up in Green Bay, but there's not a lot of draft. There's no draft. You're not going to find one seeping through Pella's windows and doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number 1 pick because right now you can take advantage of no-interest financing options or you can get free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your home's unique decor through seamless customizations. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. There's another thing. Someone asked Tucker a question.
Are you teasing us out?
I followed up, and Jesse thought this was the most interesting part of the Tailgate tour. And it's going to cause us to have a little fan interaction. We need you to help. We need that after this break.
We don't say after this break. That's not what we do here.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member-first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Outdoor Living Unlimited's showroom on Stoughton Road is absolutely a must-see. Nobody builds a better backyard better than Outdoor Living Unlimited. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, fire pit, and in-ground pool. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in building the new deck. Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. Looking for a backyard hardscape design? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's amazing Madison showroom. Visit our open house on Saturday, April 19th from 9 to 1 p.m. and meet the team. Or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
It's our lowest prices of the season, in-store and online at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, shop the season's best values on supplies to make projects your own. Like Livingston vegetable and flower seeds, 25% off MSRP. Save $60 on select Whirlpool water softeners, plus free hard water testing. 20% off Kidda smoke and fire detection products. And Blaster automotive catalyst spray, $4.69 a can. Don't miss our lowest prices of the season, only at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
We're on the Badgers.
The expectations for Badger basketball that I have to let go of was the Bo Ryan expectation.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And that's not Great Guard's fault. That's the NCAA's fault.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
All right, before we get to Tausch's tease, which has Jesse flummoxed as to what Jesse thought was the most interesting thing from last night.
I think I figured it out. I think we're on the same page.
Okay, you weren't moments ago. I got a note from my buddy Andy.
You are Johnny Critic today, man. You're criticizing my out. You're criticizing my tease. Like,
no, I'm not
super critical today.
Jesse, did you tell me that you didn't know what he was talking about?
I know what he was talking about, but if I was... All right, hang on. This is tough.
Oh, tread carefully, young fella.
I was going to bring up later in the show what I thought was the most interesting thing from the Tailgate tour and the fan reaction last night, which is different than what Tausch teased that it was. This is what I would put it. I would put this at number 2. I found it to be. It was fun and interesting.
Jason is right. Jason, I take back your criticism of me is fair.
Yes. So thank you.
But also, what threw me off is the thing I found to be most interesting was not said by Tucker Kraft, and so that was where I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" So we're good. We're there now.
Now,
the thing that was most interesting, we somehow didn't get. I can't get you that info now. I'm starting to wonder: did I mishear something? About the Benny Brust.
The refute of Ben Brust's report.
The refutation of said thing.
All right, could you? I don't want to be critical, but could you shut the hell up for a second, please?
Yeah, I'll shut up for a while.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
No, just for a second. My buddy Andy.
Yeah, I'll do it for a while.
My buddy Andy just texted me.
Yep.
He was at a Packers breakfast this morning at the Edgewater. Mark Murphy, I'm reading directly from his text, confirming, if you would have allowed me to, that your reporting of what Murphy said about Ben Brust's reporting, I'm confirming that Mark Murphy, according to my buddy Andy, who was there at the breakfast at the Edgewater, Murphy reiterated his belief the Steelers versus Packers game will be protected, especially if Rodgers ends up playing there. So You heard the president correctly. A refutation of our teammate Ben Brust's reportage. As someone who, on occasion, has reported things and had people
What's the last report? What's the last report you put out?
You know, who's being critical now?
No, I'm just curious.
I don't know. I don't.
You're
keep
bringing
score.
this out. What do you mean you don't keep score? Everything. Life is a scoreboard, my friend. What was your last report?
If life is a scoreboard,
your Devontae thing.
There you go.
Was a pretty good little
Thanks
report.
for answering for me.
Well, why do I have to be your report? Why do I need to be the one talking about
Because you're the guy who just said
reportage?
life is a scoreboard. That's why. And I appreciate you keeping score for me. Now, if I may.
Thank you.
As someone who has had his accurate reporting refuted and then later turned out to be correct, my favorite, of course, being Mike McCarthy saying that Al Harris was not skipping the offseason program in 2006 because he was unhappy with his contract, despite a report that said he was, and the anonymous source was Al Harris. Sometimes people refute things, and then they never mention later on that their refutation turned out to be erroneous. So,
correct.
So Ben may still turn out to be right. I don't want to be piling on Ben.
No, Benny has put his chops out on the street on this one. I respect that. He went out there.
So again, per my friend Andy, who was at this breakfast at the Edgewater, though, Mark Murphy has said again that he believes the Steelers-Packers game has been protected from being shipped to Dublin. Now, the most interesting thing that you think Jesse found most interesting was what?
Jesse, what did you find most interesting last night, bud?
The reaction to what Lukas Van Ness said about sacking Aaron Rodgers. But we'll do that later because Tucker Kraft was asked by MC Tausch about the tush push. Here is what that sounded like. This is audio from the Garver feed mill. It's a little echoey, but you'll be able to pick up the the most important things here.
Did you come up with that little where you come in motion and you use the tush push? The Tucker Pucker. That was Bill's idea. I was teaching at the trademark that. I did it in college. It was 100% college, so I talked to the offensive coordinator. Well, actually, I talked to the backup quarterback. I talked to the offensive coordinator to install it for me. And we refer to it as the Tucky Sneak. In college, it was called the Crafty Sneak. But Bill's got a better name for it now. I believe my old offensive coordinator came up with it. We take less hits off of Jordan, take more hits off of Jordan.
So the Tucker Pucker, the Tucker Sneak, the Crafty Sneak.
Mm-hmm.
Crafty Sneak's better than Tucker Pucker, in my opinion.
What's wrong with Tucker Pucker?
What's puckering?
Like a
defense?
No, like a little, like, you know when you give a kiss, but it's a pucker. It's like a quick kiss.
I don't.
Like
If we're thinking about tush push, and then we say Tucker Pucker, I don't think anybody's thinking. I think they're thinking of different kind of puckering.
Kissing Wildy's keister like you like doing. I don't know.
Well,
I don't.
Well,
I just don't
didn't
think
seem
it makes
necessary
sense.
at all.
What?
Here's
the deal.
The dictionary.com definition of pucker.
It does. It's context.
Go to
Jesse.
Urban.
It's not
Go
about
to Urban Dictionary and see what they say about puckering. All right. So you found this interesting. I want to make sure I clarify one thing before we move forward, and that is no one pushes Tucker's keister, nor do they pucker. So it's not really
this play
a tush
will be
push.
legal. Correct. This play will be legal moving forward. I thought a couple of things were interesting, and I know these things have been out there, but he likes it.
Yeah.
I think Mikey likes it. He wants to do this. I think this is something he's embraced. I think it's a weapon, and he views this, I believe, just like Jalen Hurts views it in Philadelphia, that he doesn't get stopped. I didn't miss in
5 for
college.
5.
I ain't missing in the pros. I'm taking blows off of Jordan Love,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to keep doing this. And and then Mark got into the, Philly fans aren't going to like him now because he's the enemy number one because they're trying to get rid of the tush push. It's not a great play, and I think this from a Packer standpoint, get rid of it, and then you can still utilize Tucker in that formula that is going to be allowed if that resolution in May ends up passing.
So Tucker was I can't remember if it was 8-man football or 9-man football that he played in South Dakota, but he was a quarterback. And so he ran this play. He obviously didn't run it for your guy Jason Eck when he was his offensive coordinator at South Dakota State, but I do think he ran it a couple of times during his college career. I don't think it was with Eck. I think it was a little bit later, but this is something that he feels very comfortable taking a snap. Like if you did this with Mercedes Lewis, who does not have experience taking a snap from under center, it might not be as effective, right? Or Luke Musgrave. Now, Luke Musgrave, better pickleball player. Tucker Kraft, more comfortable taking a snap from center. So I think this play, and I remember talking to Adam Stenovich about it when they unveiled it, is really, really smart. And not only does it prevent Jordan Love from taking hits by quarterback sneaking, but Jordan Love isn't involved in the play at all. He is essentially a spectator. Correct. He stands in the backfield. He does not push on Tucker. He's not near the pile. So he is in a very safe location. And it did. It was 5 for 5 after they unveiled it. Perfect score with him. And he is a burly
I think
dude.
He said 6 for 6, but you might be right.
Maybe they did it in the playoff game that I'm not counting, but I could have sworn I had that right. But bottom line is it works. And he really likes it.
It's never been stopped in the history of Tucker Kraft.
And kudos to Steno for bringing it up. So
Smart.
I agree. I do want to get to some of the other things he said. Jesse, we have him on Jim, Matt, and Molly too, right? Where it's not nearly as echoey.
Correct, yes. Tucker Kraft, Mark Murphy both stopped by Jim, Matt, and Molly. Correct.
Because the Kraft pack and squeeze from Josh and Heartland, he's a clever guy now.
Yeah, that's better than what we've heard so far. The pucker thing makes no sense to me. None.
It rhymes, though, and you've said, do you like rhyming or alliteration? I feel like you like both.
Yeah, it rhymes, but it doesn't. There's no. The last thing you want to do if you're taking a snap
is pucker.
Is to be puckered up. Like that is a bad thing.
What about the Kraft crash? There's alliteration for you.
I think Josh's is better.
It's good. I like it.
Does it matter if Tucker Kraft is the one who said the other one, though? It's his play. I think he gets to name it if he wants to.
No, that's not how this works. You don't give yourself nicknames.
David Aaron, the Kraft cheese wedge.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Also better than
Josh
puckering.
is still the leader. That Josh is still the leader in the clubhouse, but that's not bad.
Okay. We will take more of your proposed nicknames for the brotherly shove, the tush push, the Tucker pucker, the
so stupid. It's so dumb.
The Kraft crash. I do want to hear more from Tucker because it was kind of loud in the Blind Shot Social Club, but I heard him, and you should check out the entirety of his interview with Jim, Matt, and Molly, including the part where Jim gets his college wrong. But it was really, there was some interesting stuff in there.
Oh, snap.
Jimmy, huh?
Well, he felt bad about it. I explained to him, I believe he thought Tucker went to Idaho. And I said, I know where you got that from because Jason Eck, Tausch's buddy, was his offensive coordinator at South Dakota State.
Jim Rutledge isn't following Jason Eck's coaching arc. Like, come on. That's not how that happened.
I was just trying to give him a lifeline, buddy. That's all I was trying to do. And you could give
Jimmy's a strong swimmer. He doesn't need a lifeline. He's a strong swimmer.
Oh, he was flailing after that. We've all had those moments where we screw something up on the air, and you're like, "Oh my God, I feel like an idiot."
I put Ed West in the 6 foot underground. It's a mistake.
that's probably worse than getting the wrong college for Tucker Kraft. But I tried to throw Jimmy a lifeline.
Hey, what 80s Packers player would you have loved to have seen at the tailgate last night? You grew up. That's when you were semi a fan. Who do you want to see?
I was a full-fledged fan then. Let me think about that because I've had the opportunity to meet some of them.
Jesse,
Paul
put that
Kaufman
up on
because
we have some older folks that like listening to our show. That 80s group. I think that would be fun.
Also age 80, from what I could tell. They don't watch on YouTube.
There are a lot of young folks last night that knew our vernacular. Let's just put it that way.
Nice.
At the joint.
Love to hear that.
Awesome.
All right. If I could finish my tease into your contest, I threw Jim Rutledge a lifeline. If your bathroom needs a lifeline, Tausch and Kohler Services can save you with this great new contest.
If you have an ugly segment on your show and you want to get it a lot prettier, man, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, there's mildew, there's mold, whatever it might be, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest. If it's misproportioned, if it's set up in a poor way, just send it in. Again, goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest. You get a chance to win a free shower remodel. You heard me correct. One lucky fan is going to win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services. And it's not just, hey, Kohler's going to come and throw something at you. You get to go through the design consultation, the demolition and removal of your existing crappy shower or bath, and then you get the beautiful installation of a brand spanking new Kohler lug stone shower. Upload that photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win that beautiful brand new Kohler Lugstone shower.
Is crappy in the copy?
No.
It's an ad lib.
It's an ad lib.
And a good one at that.
Definitely not a crappy ad lib. I will come up with my 80s Packers. We will put that. I will tweet that out. So folks, Mark in the YouTube comments wanting to make very clear clarification. Hey, easy on the older listeners. I answered Barry Smith before you provided the answer yesterday. First of all, Mark is a frequent dweller in the YouTube comments. Secondly, hey, we want people of all ages to listen.
Love it.
I just get the sense that we skew a little bit older sometimes with our references to Dallas and Seinfeld, which has been off the air for 20 years in terms of prime time. We do make a lot of older references, so I think we have an older palated crowd.
I hate to tell you this. You're over 50, dude.
I know. I'm old. I'm aware.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm telling you.
Why you needed to tell me that, because that was kind of my point.
Well, I think you're acting like you're the old Wildy with the ear pierced and you're out at clubs, not because you finally got out of your basement. I think you started to believe maybe you're listening to Pink Pony Club and you're 25 years old again. You ain't. You're not. That's all. Why is that? Was leather that big a deal? Put that picture back up, Jesse. This guy's got leather. The old boy in the back's rocking a long leather coat. Everybody's leathered up back in those days.
I bought that jacket in Tampa the day after Christmas. You guys were playing down there. Maybe it was before you were on the team. But we went down there, and it was 36 degrees for a game in Tampa. And I didn't bring a coat.
Did you write it off?
No, I did not. I did not expense it. No.
Should the Packers keep Chad Clifton at all costs?
That was in Oakland, our pregame show before the Brett Favre miraculous game in 2003. All right, we're falling behind now. Favorite
Look at
80s.
Britney Spears there. That's the old Britney Spears look right there. Look at him.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah.
I was thinking more Timberlake.
He's toxic.
He used to use those too.
There's some toxicity in that picture.
We'll hear more from Tucker Kraft. We'll take more of your nicknames for his tush push, whatever we're calling it. There's some pretty good leaders in the clubhouse. And we'll talk more about all the interesting things that were said during the tour stop of the Tailgate Tour in Madison yesterday. That's all still ahead. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft, right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it. Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
We're on the Badgers.
There are moments where it feels like you're close, but taken holistically, those look like blips.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
To win a championship, you have to consistently be that team.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Slow down on Monday, not a sound. On Wednesday, might get loud. On Friday, but on Saturday, we paint the town. Lose my sense of time or 2 weeks feel like days. Medicaid in the afternoon, and I just want to know, have you lost your footing?
All right, let's hear some more from Tucker Kraft, but this time via the ESPN Madison connection, as Jim, Matt, and Molly were live at the Blind Shot Social Club, and the lot less echo.
I gotta give Jimmy credit. He rocked his Bears gear last night. I respect that. I like that. He's not being some fake Packer fan. He is, even though the president and one of its young stars is coming on his show, he said, I'm going to be me. And I respect that about Jimmy.
Yeah, totally agree. Molly had the best question, though, I thought.
Well, how is anybody surprised by that? If you listen to the show, like Molly is always going to ask the best question.
Jeez.
Am I wrong, Jesse?
Well, first she
Jesse,
asked,
am I wrong?
I think they're all very capable of asking a lot of great questions on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
God, since you become management, you got soft. Like real
Do you
soft.
oversee any of those people?
No, I don't think so.
Technically, I manage Matt Hamilton, which is why he gets so many days off. You know.
He's unmanageable.
I think Jesse lets Matt have so many days off so that it takes away how many days off he takes. Because then he can always reference that Hambone takes more days. Jesse's playing chess here. Am I correct?
Remind me again, Jason is the one being critical today.
Indeed. Well, in fairness, he's set the tone for the show, in fairness.
Sure. Fair. So instead of critiquing how terrible the questions are
at all
that Jim and Matt ask, Molly asked a great question.
Or
following
complimenting Molly. Right?
Yes.
You are.
No doubt.
Okay. Yeah.
She asked a great question, which followed up from something Tucker told us on Tuesday before the tour, the Tailgate tour, departed Green Bay, about wanting to be a more vocal leader, leading with his words more than just headbutts, as he put it. Not to be confused with puckering. Her question elicited a very good answer from Tucker, and I believe there was even a follow-up that comes next. Here's Tucker Kraft on leadership.
So I know you said at the end of last season that moving forward in this upcoming season that one of your goals is to be more of a leader in the locker room. Like, how do you plan to do that? Is it by being top-notch with your body? What is it?
I think I lead with my play style mostly. With my ability after the catch and how my teammates get excited about that also brings momentum, onto the playing field. So that and just being more vocal. I have my standards, and that makes me the player I am. And if I see someone, we have rules about accountability and being team first. And if I see that, I'm just not going to let it slip anymore. So many people have to come together in an organization for it to be successful, and that starts with just us checking each other.
So being top-notch with your body is important. It is also important that your play style is effective. Here's the follow-up to that.
Just getting the respect from the guys on the team, because they know that, you see plays all over the field where I just get absolutely wrecked. Yeah. And I get up as fast as I can. I throw the ball to the official, and I'm trying to get to the huddle. It's just that mentality, un-F-withable is what we would say, just don't let anybody, get in your head, steel trap.
So that I was standing there for that exchange. It was a good exchange, and I did enjoy un-F-withable, which I thought, here's a guy with awareness. Made sure he didn't swear on our airwaves, so I appreciate that about him. My question, though, is how do you become a leader as a third-year player now? He obviously you have to play well. There's not a lot of leaders that are non-factor players, right? Like, and how do you, when he says about we have standards about accountability, and if I see that slipping, I'm going to call it out. What does that tell you, especially when you couple it with the urgency comment from the general manager after the season? Tucker had another quote that day at locker room cleanout about maybe not being as focused and that you could see the end of the season coming. There are those feel like red flags to me. Am I wrong?
What feels like a red flag to you?
That he was seeing these things, that he would say something like yesterday that if I see guys that aren't being accountable, I'm going to call it out now. Because that would imply he saw guys not being accountable and didn't call it out because he didn't feel like that was his place yet. The urgency comment, like, it just makes me wonder if with so many young guys there were some discouraging signs and he saw them and now he's not going to allow them to slip by anymore. That's how I took that. Tell me if I'm taking it wrong.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how you should interpret things. What I will say is there is a value in guys showing first and then leading with your vocality. You don't see a ton of rookies talking a lot because they're still figuring things out. And I think for Tucker Kraft, I think his first season, I don't think went the way he was hoping. And then he came on late in that season, and then obviously last year he did. And with that confidence comes being more vocal. And he does things the right way. All of that, all of the words and all this stuff is moot if you don't have respect from the players in your room or in the locker room as a whole. And for Tucker, he has proven with how he approaches and how he battled through injuries and how he practices and gets ready and performs, he's earned that right. There are guys that have lesser roles that are that were incredibly good leaders because they didn't sit there and didn't have something to chirp. A lot of times it's seeing things early and addressing it, not being reactive but being proactive. And that is where I think Tucker, to me, that's how I read that. It's too late when you're being reactive. It's too late when a wideout misses 2 days of practice and skips a game and gets suspended. Then it's too late. You need to be proactive, see it, and say, hey, man, we got to get this, we got to figure this out. You can be disagreeable, you can be mad, you can have stuff, but you have to go out and be a pro. And that's why I was, partially why I was so pushing for Devontae, because he would give you that immediately in that room. And I think Tucker, reading through the lines, I'm guessing he isn't talking about his tight end room. I'm guessing he's talking about the receiver room.
So that's kind of what I was driving at. Like, I see Michael in the YouTube comments saying that I'm stirring the pot. Well, look, when you say things, right, but what he said was not just, I'm going to be more vocal. I think that I have some things to add. I think now that I've played at a level where I feel like I've, earned respect, I feel like I can speak out. He did say that, but when he says something like, I'm not going to allow that to slip by anymore, indicates that it was slipping by previously.
Yes. And it's always easier to do that after it happens. The hard part about leadership and the hard part about being a really good teammate is addressing it in real time and addressing it with guys when you can still accomplish and do something about it.
Right. So
now, luckily for these guys, there's a lot of young players that are going to be on this team and can learn those lessons from last year. But I think Tucker's main point was you can't let it get to the point where it's slipping, where you could see that the end of the season, you want a full-on belief. And when you scared me last year was when you were talking about Matt LaFleur's comments about how it doesn't look right. And it's sloppy play. You're talking week 17. Guys, it's over at that point. If you are at that point and you're talking openly about that, you don't have it dialed up enough to get it done because it gets harder. You have to be more on point. One mistake cost you against good teams. And by the way, Philly played a very choppy offensive game. Very choppy.
The game
but
was
you
there
know
to
what?
be had.
Green Bay's offense stunk and couldn't protect and couldn't do anything, and that's where the urgency that you didn't see from Goody came that I did see in the fact we can't do that again. Now, can you pick up the other pieces of that earlier so that you don't have coaches and players talking about sloppiness and letting things go to a point where they didn't think they could win a playoff game?
All right, I want to follow up on this because I also am curious. You know, Marco was there last night. Chimp, as apparently he was called. He was drafted in 96. He had been a stalwart on that offensive line for several years when you arrived and Cliffy arrived. Does having so many young players, what does that do to how leadership kind of grows for a player? Okay, I want to talk about that coming up next because Tucker Kraft is a third-year player. So is Jaden Reed. So is Dontavion Wicks. So if Tucker Kraft sees something, and I don't know that either one of those guys were who he was directing that at. I don't know that. I'm not throwing them under the bus. But theoretically, if one of them is that, how does it work then for a guy who's in the same draft class to be telling you, hey, you got to get your blank together. Stop being about yourself and be more about the team. I want Tausch to help me understand that because that strikes me as a potential conflict point. We'll talk about that coming up after I tell you that right now you could test rest a Beauty Rest Black mattress at Steinhafels and you'll get a $25 MasterCard rewards card. Beauty Rest Black mattresses use sleep climate technology, which transfers heat away from the body, and triple-stranded pocketed coil technology to give you the most advanced support system in a mattress. The new Beauty Rest Black is only $42 a month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, you can get to up to $300 in Steinhafels cash. So shop right now. In store, you can test rest, get that $25 MasterCard rewards card, or online at steinhafels.com. We'll continue this conversation next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
I'm the most guaranteed person you can take.
The 2025 NFL Draft.
Is he a lockdown corner? Is he an elite receiving entity?
Round 1 begins Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Hey, football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Draft day on the horizon. ESPN's Mel Kiper stopping by Wilde and Tausch, breaking down the draft class. The longtime analyst with his thoughts on multiple Badgers, including Hunter Wohlert. So, Mel, where could the Muskego safety land?
I think he goes day 3. It just depends upon whether it's the 5th, 6th, 7th round area. I liked him at Wisconsin. Obviously, a really good player. He tackles well. He's got a chance in the NFL. We thought Jim Leonard come out of his program, and there we gave him a shot. Look what Jim Leonard developed into. Overall, I think you look at where Wohlert will go. I'd like to say somewhere mid to late day 3.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella Windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at PizzaHut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
We'll get to the 10 o'clock hour sooner or later. But before that, Tausch, help me out here. So, you talk about Frank Winters. Talk about Raleigh McKenzie. Marco, right, who had been there longer than you. Wall, who I think was 98, so he was a little bit closer to you in terms of experience-wise when you got there in 2000. But the bottom line is that you had guys, Favre obviously being one of them, who'd been around for quite a while when you came in as a rookie. A lot of these guys are all roughly the same experience level. It's a lot of the 22, 23, 24 draft class on this roster. So if I'm Tucker Kraft and I see something slipping, and it's Dontavion Wicks, who is in my draft class, is that in some way potentially problematic when one of your, say, peers, as opposed to maybe a more experienced teammate, been there, done that, has the pelts on the wall, approaches you about this? Is it different, and is it a potential source of conflict? Or am I not understanding how teams work?
No, the bottom line is you want to have guys that are open to being coached and that are willing to look at themselves, because it's really easy, and we do this on our show. Well, point the finger here. Take accountability for yourself. You always look at your own play first.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not willing to do that in a real critical way, especially when things aren't going well, and if one of your teammates, and I don't care if it's somebody younger than you, if it's somebody that is doing things the right way, and they approach you with that, that takes a lot of courage, and you'd be an idiot not to be receptive to it. Now, you can get a little bit hurt, but I would bet out of those times that that's happened, I would bet when all is said and done, the amount of respect and the appreciation that that player will have for you, especially if it helps them become better players and have longer careers. Because for me, it was real simple. I got there and I looked around and I thought, I want to play a long time.
Mm-hmm.
These cats played a long time. How have you done that? It's not rocket science. How the heck have you done it? And then you see Marco, and he's out there grinding. He's playing with an MCL. He's playing with this. He's doing this. You respect the heck out of that. And it's just, there is nothing forced or brought upon. You just have to understand who you're dealing with. Like if Tucker Kraft is going to come and critique you, he better know you're sensitive and that you are going to be needed to be approached in a different way. That's what this is about. That's why you don't do things right away. You learn and understand who guys are. Coaches have to and players have to. So to answer your question, if it's coming from the right place and it's about winning, all everybody wants to do is win. You're going to have difference of opinions with a lot of guys. There's going to be different backgrounds. It's just that's the beauty of a locker room. But when someone that you respect says, hey, man, I noticed you're slipping here, or this is not up to what we're looking for, what's going on? And let them talk. Don't go talk at them. Talk with them.
Okay.
That is usually a good sign.
So was there ever an instance where you went to Cliffy, or Cliffy went to you or Cliffy went to Bubba Franks? Like, I'm just, you understand what I'm saying, right? That's a different dynamic than what you just described of looking at guys who'd done it in the league a while and wanting to emulate them. That's a guy that was drafted at the same time as you, has the same experience level as you. As long as you think that they're coming at it from a good place, I get it. What if you disagree with them?
You can disagree. It is definitely more difficult, especially if it's one of your best buddies and it's somebody that you grew up in the league with, that is different, but it's also more impactful if you do.
Okay. All right. And then you could sit down afterward and have a Coors Light together and chop it up and change the subject.
Sure. Coors Light brewed with the 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill the mountains on Coors Light's cold activated bottles and cans. They turn blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Late as usual, the 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Green Bay Packers tailgate tour stopped by Madison last night at Garver Feed Mill. Jim, Matt, and Molly, weekdays 4 to 6 on ESPN Madison, were on site. They were joined by Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy. And there's a particular rumor about the upcoming draft in Green Bay that Packers president would like to dispel.
And the rumor that I have told Brian that he cannot trade out of the first round is not true. I went up to Brian after that and I said, Brian, if you think the best thing for the Packers is to trade out of the first round, do it. We'll probably get booed, but yeah, I know, you might.
Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy joining Jim, Matt, and Molly last night. Catch the full conversation on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Plenty of conversation around what Mark Murphy, Tucker Kraft, Lukas Van Ness, and others had to say during the event and on Jim, Matt, and Molly yesterday. Coming up on Wilde and Tausch with you until noon. Baseball, Brewers 17-2 winners last night in Colorado. They go for a sweep this afternoon, 2:10 first pitch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, which we're going to call the Mark Murphy Comedy Hour. All we need is Kay Adams' laugh. Or his. So, again, doing some material. He knows what plays well with radio hosts and fans alike. Here is Mark Murphy with Jim Matt and Molly discussing the rumor that he has forbidden Brian Gutekunst from trading his first-round pick in the NFL draft in Green Bay for an existing player.
And the rumor that I have told Brian that he cannot trade out of the first round is not true. I went up to Brian after that, and I said, Brian, if you think the best thing for the Packers is to trade out of the first round, do it. We'll probably get booed, but...
Yeah, I know. You might.
Do you think that Packers fans in attendance at the draft would boo if they traded out of the first round?
Maybe they might, but not if they get T.J. Watt, who, by the way, it looks like he maybe is
Cryptic.
not real happy out there.
Cryptic.
Maybe not real happy out there in Pittsburgh. Maybe he could
come on home.
I don't think there would be a smattering, but I think Brian Gutekunst has gotten enough trust in our fan base that it would be, well, we've made a good decision here doing that. But obviously, Mark decided it's a fun little deal because I don't think anybody thought, just like I joke a lot that Mark's in there at the red zone meetings and making sure that they got X2Y banana blah 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 in the game plan. That's not he's not the meddlesome. I don't think he's to that degree meddlesome. Just like I don't think he is, and he wants the football team to be the best team that they could possibly be. And if Brian Gutekunst thinks, hey, I'm going to trade out, I'm going to get a first next year and something else because there's nobody that fits the bill, I do think there'd be disappointment because fans in Green Bay are up there and want to celebrate that pick. But in the grand scheme of things, no, I think fans would understand what was happening.
For those of you who are not up to speed on this, the Instagram post from T.J. Watt, former Wisconsin Badger, Pittsburgh Steelers edge rusher and Defensive Player of the Year award winner, is, as Tausch would call it, a photo of him giving the deuces B as he's walking off the field at one point. Is it in the camera angle? There we go. There is no commentary. There's no deuces B Pittsburgh. There's no, so it is cryptic. I saw the Good Morning Football crew was breaking it down, trying to figure out what it was. Maybe it's just one of his favorite photos. He just thinks he looks handsome there.
No, he wants to get a new deal.
Clearly, right? That's obvious, is it not?
I don't think he wants to go anywhere else. And again, I think this broad, and I saw some Packer fans on Packers Twitter kind of putting some things out there in regard to that would be great. We could rectify a wrong with the Kevin King pick and all this other stuff. This is a very similar situation to Trey Hendrickson, but you'd have to give up more and pay more.
Mm-hmm.
So for everybody that is hoping that the Pewockian comes on back into the greater Wisconsin area to play ball, I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be a ploy to get a new deal, and that's what TJ should be doing, and I think that's what will end up happening.
Here's what Ian Rappaport said on Good Morning Football. My guess, and this is only a guess, well, that sounds like me. That's what I like to do when I'm trying to avoid being soundgraphed. Too late for Ian, though. Because, again, we're reading into cryptic social media posts at 9:03 in the morning here. Is T.J. Watt is in a contract negotiation situation with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Generally, when a player makes a social media post, it forces us to talk about it on TV like we're doing right now because the contract negotiations are not going as well as anybody had hoped. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He's probably frustrated that they're not offering him more money than have currently been offered, and you throw up a deuces B, and you get everyone worked up. So good on you, Tej. Do I think T.J. Watt is going to be a Green Bay Packer? I do not. But if you were asked, would you give up your first-round pick?
Do you think he wants to be a Green Bay Packer?
I don't know, maybe. JJ, I think J.J. Watt would have loved it if it would have worked out when he ended up in Arizona. But I don't, if my recollection.
J.J. Watt could have come to Green Bay.
I believe he made a lot more money from Arizona, right? If I remember that, the Watt watch.
He didn't make. I mean, he made some money, but he could have made. Green Bay would have paid him.
Well, all I remember from that is we spent a lot of time getting our hopes up, and it didn't happen. Fool me once, shame on me, or something. Don't fool people.
Something like that.
He's in the last year of his. He's in the last year of his deal. Trey Hendrickson is in the last year of his deal. My question for you is, if Goody got an offer, hey, we'll give you T.J. Watt for your first-round pick. Is Goody doing that? T.J. Watt's had his 30th birthday. I don't think there's any chance he'd do that. No.
And it's not just about the picks.
Right.
It's about the money, too. So, no, he would not do that.
All right, we've got more from Mark Murphy from his exciting visit with Jim, Matt, and Molly. And then do we have more echoey audio of him talking with Tausch in the, what's it called, the feed mill?
The Garver feed mill. I don't think we have anything more from Murphy over the PA system there. He did use the same material at the Garver feed mill. He did run it back in front of the big audience.
When you have hits, you keep playing.
Yeah, he played the hits.
Are we new here? Sabrina Carpenter? That's how this world works.
Did you notice Pink Pony? They did play Pink Pony Club at the event last night in between
Jesse requested
speakers.
It.
Yeah. No, I think Tausch did. He's very into the song.
Maybe.
We will get to more of the tour stop. I do want to get into a little bit of a discussion about Lukas Van Ness. Did you get to talk with him much?
I did, a little bit. I talked to him a little bit. I asked, do you know everybody thinks you're a huge disappointment?
And he said,
yep. Did you see my film? Did you see my video that I just put out? No, we talked pickleball mostly. He's a big pickleball guy now, too.
Is that right?
Pickleball.
Wow. Well,
Tausch almost had me up very early this morning.
To play? Oh, you're going to play with him?
So here's the deal. Tucker obviously is a big fan of the Pickler up in Green Bay that Jason has been to and can go whenever he wants.
I referred to it in my Channel 3000 story. You're welcome for the free advertising.
I like that. Thank you. So he
if only
goes over there
cream.
a bunch. And I said, hey, if you want to play, we can get a game. And he said, all right, but I need you to come pick me up. And I'm looking at him like, all right, well, if you're staying out in the greater Sun Prairie, I can come pick you up. But I'm not driving. I ain't driving to the airport. I'm not driving downtown.
You were unwilling to pick him up to take him to play pickleball?
Yeah, I wasn't.
Tucker Kraft?
Why would he?
We're playing at 5:15.
Yeah, why would Tausch volunteer to do that when he has someone else he could volunteer to go pick him up?
So here's the deal. I think I sensed that it was more, oh, that would be fun, but because they have a long day. Obviously, they had a long day yesterday.
Sure. Yeah.
He would have had gotten up at 4:30. 4:45 because we play at 5:15, 5:30. I'm not driving downtown and then driving back out and then driving downtown. I'm not doing it. Jesse is like, hey, what do you think? And I said, if you want to go pick him up, we can organize it. And Jesse immediately is like, let's go. Said, all right. Now, I don't know how many Coors Lights he had in when he was saying this, but I said, all right. So then I shot a note over and said, if you're interested, we can do this. If you're not, no sweat. And the response back was, I'm not gonna be able to pull this off. So and I texted Jesse.
The response was from Tucker Kraft, not Jesse, saying they can't pull this off.
That he was relieved that Tucker decided that it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, it's an early kick.
Very early.
Tucker.
Yeah.
But Tucker is spending a lot of time at the Pickler. I'm curious, as one of the faces of that organization, what you guys have planned for draft week. If there's going to be some fun stuff that you've got planned during draft week.
Stuff, sure.
So check into that. In the interim, we've got some very fun stuff planned for draft week, including ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Podcast coming to Green Bay on April 23rd. Now, what is that? Is that Wednesday? That's Wednesday. So it's the draft eve.
Mm-hmm.
Field Yates, Daniel Dopp, Mike Clay, Liz Loza, and Stefania Bell are doing a live show at the Tundra Trio. ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend, so two of you, up to Green Bay to see the show happen live. Right now, caller number 7. Caller number 7. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776, wins 2 tickets to ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Live at the Tundra Trio. See the show up close, meet all the hosts, get complimentary food and beverages, and Fantasy Focus Football Podcast merch. That's caller 7 right now, 844-770-3776. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Jim Rutledge here, and I want to tell you about the Bruce Company, Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture. They'll help you elevate your outdoor living space like they have for me. Exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles, colors, and durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather brings. From deep seating to dining, pick your set and the Bruce Company will customize it to fit your style. Visit their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Bruce Company, your outdoor living experts.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
The Mark Murphy Comedy Hour continues. Although it's no joke that the outgoing Green Bay Packers president and CEO is probably not going to be uber popular in the city of brotherly love, because he is the face of banning the tush push. Here's what he had to say yesterday.
Can you get us any insight onto the tush push? We've talked about it a lot on our show.
Yeah,
obviously.
I am a hated man in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No, it ended up. Well, first of all, I don't think it's a good play. I don't think it's good for the game.
I think it's boring.
It's boring. There haven't been a lot of injuries coming out of it because there's just a pretty small sample size, but. The chief medical officer of the NFL, a man named Alan Sills, has really serious concerns about just the nature of the play, the way bodies come together, and what he had said is it's just a matter of time that there'll be a catastrophic injury.
I don't know if I wanted laughter after the phrase.
I don't get that drop.
Well, I mean, maybe a little poorly timed. I apologize. Catastrophic injuries.
We're teammates holding you accountable.
No
so
laughing matter. Understand.
I just feel like that's been pretty clear. And it can be, you can say all of the things, and I don't remember Dr. Sills if he was part of the CTE concussion. I am always very skeptical of league-wide doctoring, like I just am.
League-wide doctoring.
If you start looking back at what was said and done in the 80s and 90s, it will infuriate you from a player standpoint. So is this play, again, the Eagles have gotten really good at it. No doubt about it.
Sure.
Is it entertaining to fans? It's not.
No.
Is it, it's not, no injuries. Well, trust me, that's where a lot of stuff can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And just continue to talk about the referee. Just continue to play that referee clip over and over and over again, and that will get this tush push banned. And I think Tucker Kraft's point on the Tucker pucker is you can do it without having all that. Just go mano-y-mano, let's go play ball. Let's go play. Not let's get a mass of humanity and let's just go rugby scrum and hope. It's not entertaining. You can't mark the foot. There's just too many things at play, but the main thing, let's award a touchdown. That's it. For all the detractors out there, when you can just sit there and say, all right, boys, yeah, it's a touchdown. These boys aren't playing fairly. It's a touchdown. That should be the end-all, be-all, not all of this other stuff that should be commonsensical, but probably isn't. That's it to me.
If Sean Hockley had not said that, if they were just kept going, and people would have been annoyed with the Commanders for trying to jump the snap over and over and over again, would we be in the same place, or was Sean Hockley taking to the microphone in his dad's proud history of saying too much as an official, announcing that to the crowd? I agree. That was the turning point. What happens if he doesn't say that? And they just keep going until finally they don't jump off sides and they score the touchdown.
I think that was a, oh, my God, that can really happen moment.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Mm-hmm.
And they're fortunate that it was at that point the game was kind of in hand.
Mm-hmm.
If that's a 3-point game, and you start messing with the money line and the unders and the overs and all that other stuff, oh, boy. And kind of what I just said about what Tucker was saying about being proactive rather than reactive, NFL's gotten better at that. They need to be proactive in this situation. Because if they're reacting at some point to this happening on a Sunday game, and then every talk show and everything on Monday is sitting there saying it, and every casino and sports book is looking at it and saying, well, how are we even going to handle this? You're up blank creek without a blanket paddle, if that's the case. So I think this whole concept that Mark put this out there as some lone wolf is ludicrous.
Nobody thinks
because
that.
They already got 16 votes, and they're talking to old Doc Sills. You don't think the NFL is kind of like, Mark, hey, throw this out there. Let's get this ball rolling because we got to do something before it's too late.
I was talking with somebody as the Tailgate tour departed on Tuesday who works in the building, and I do think there's a feeling that the Packers are taking the shrapnel for the league. And,
not even that much shrapnel either.
Well, I think we're not a Philly radio show. I'm guessing they're getting all kinds of shrapnel there. And the fact that the vote was 16-16 tells you that the league is divided on this. It does. The 16 teams that voted in favor of keeping it are definitely rubbed the wrong way by the Packers bringing this to the fore. The fact that Matt LaFleur had to get up in front of the coaches at the NFL meetings and explain his reasoning or his team's reasoning, his organization's reasoning for proposing to ban it, I'm guessing that ruffles some feathers. No pun intended for Eagles. But, this is what the Packers do, and I do believe that not having an owner and the relationship between Murphy, who is on his way out the door, so it's not like he's going to be bumping into Jeffrey Lurie next season when the teams play each other, most likely. It made sense for the Packers to be the ones who took the shrapnel. But clearly, they are not the only team, as you said, who wants this to be gone. And had it been the Commanders, who are in the division, who dealt with it and were almost awarded a touchdown against them, I think they would have had a lot more crap to deal with. Agreed or not?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe, but I just don't think it was that much crap to deal with. And
well,
you took a little bit of shrapnel.
I'll tell you what,
you're soft,
the Packers
all this other
feel
stuff.
like it was. I can tell you that they
of course they're gonna.
Feel like they dealt with a lot of crap because of it.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Got to break eggs to make an omelet.
Well said. Let's play trivia.
Thanks.
Jesse, what do you exactly have planned for trivia today? I'm a little confused.
So yesterday we had this meeting here at the ESPN Madison office, which received rave reviews because we played a little trivia game about our show. And we started yesterday's show with both of you in studio here, with Tausch advocating that we should reuse some of those same questions for Wilde and Tausch trivia today. So we have double Wilde and Tausch trivia today because we did not play on Tuesday. And we're going to play Wilde and Tausch trivia. So each of you has a set of questions to ask about the history of our show. So this is for the Tier 1 fans who want to chime in and see how well they know the history of Wilde and Tausch.
So I'll ask my questions and I'll ask Tausch's for him. Didn't we play trivia all week already?
We did not play on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
We had multiple guests join us on Tuesday. You may recall
All right.
Mel Kiper and Evan
Well, let's
Cohen.
get to contestants right now. Caller 5 and caller 10. Caller 5 and caller 10 for Wilde and Tausch trivia about Wilde and Tausch. as presented during our team huddle, our meeting at ESPN Madison yesterday. Caller 5 and caller 10, 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 5 and caller 10 will play, and caller 5 will get to choose. Do you want the Wilde trivia or the Tausch trivia? And will the word longitudinally be involved, or Mercer at any point?
Tyler did not write these questions.
Caller 5 and caller 10, 844-770-3776. Make the call now. We'll play trivia next, after I tell you that Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone, where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. So don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Now make sure you hurry in to your participating Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. That is Sunday. So you got to get in there before Sunday to register and have your chance to be one of the 10 lucky winners headed to the draft with help from Verizon. Trivia is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in sport 30-2025.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 Draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6. And follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions. Presented by Siding Unlimited. Trust Siding Unlimited with your next window and door project.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the belt line at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Free Food Friday on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Vintage Brewing Company. Whether you're looking to get carry-out, delivery, or dine in, Vintage Brewing has lots of great options on their menu. Vintage Brewing Company prides themselves on being a great place to hang out and enjoy classic Midwestern hospitality. Vintage Brewing Company has multiple award-winning beers, so be sure to try one the next time you're in. Head to VintageBrewingCompany.com to make a reservation today. That's VintageBrewingCompany.com.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
When you've been seriously injured, you need a trusted team on your side. Gruber Law Offices is available 24/7 and will even come to you. Your first call is free. Your first visit is free. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Got an email on the odds of TJ Watt's trade chances, which I always think these are bogus, but I'm intrigued by the numbers that they randomly pick. Packers are at 33-1. The favorites, the New England Patriots, Seattle Seahawks, Philadelphia Eagles, Arizona Cardinals, and Tennessee Titans, all less than 10-1. Odds, so they're at the top of the food chain. Let's play some trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants. First, a first-time contestant. Caller number 5, Mark in Mount Pleasant. Mark, good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful.
And then caller 10, who was at the Tailgate tour last night and saw DJ Jazzy Tausch emceeing, Rick in Madison. Rick, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
What'd you think of Tausch's performance?
It was awesome.
Good answer. Smart answer.
Rick. All right. Give him an entry.
Mark, you were the first of the two callers. Do you want Tausch's trivia or my trivia?
I'm going to do Tausch's.
I think that's a
Smart
good choice.
move.
That's a good choice. All right. Well,
it's a little more on the edge.
Oh, it's edgy. It's edgy, all right.
Yeah, it's edgy, all right.
All right. So, then Mark, question 1 from Mark begins now.
All right. Kissin' Cousins was perhaps my boldest and best prediction in the nearly 9-year history of this show, accurately predicting a tie between which two teams? Is it the Packers-Vikings, the Brewers-Cubs, or Alabama and Auburn?
Oh. We'll have to go Wisconsin.
Well,
Wisconsin and that one. Yeah.
How's this going for you?
So there are two Wisconsin options here, Mark. It's Packers, Vikings, or
It was the Packers Vikings.
There you go.
Final answer.
Okay. All right. 1 for 1 for Mark. All right, Rick. Question number 1 from me. A fan and a guest of their choice won their way to which of these events as a result of a contest on Wilde and Tausch? Was it to Jesse's wedding, Madison and Sydney's gymnastics meet, or Eddie Lacy's garage sale?
Jesse's wedding.
Indeed it was. Tausch, Mark's question 2 from Mark.
All right. Which of my former teammates was the first guest ever scheduled to appear on Wilde and Tausch? Is it Brian Bulaga, Aaron Rodgers, or Jordy Nelson?
Brian Bulaga. Final answer.
Good guess.
Here's Aaron Rodgers,
He's a complicated fella.
who was still the starting quarterback in 2016 and said, run the table. And then they did. All right, question 2 for you, Rick, is this.
They didn't really. They didn't really run the table. They didn't win a championship.
They ran it for a while.
They won 8 straight games to reach the NFC Championship game.
Okay, so if you're playing pool and you run the table but you leave the 8 ball and somebody knocks it in, is that running the table?
When he said run the table, he meant the rest of the regular season, and they very much did it.
That's not what he said.
That is what he said.
Run the table was winning a championship.
If you have all of your balls on the table and the other person has 1 and the 8 ball left, and you say, I'm going to run the table, and you get all the way to having a chance to win, yeah, it's a heck of a run over the table.
Run the table means you knock the 8 ball in. Go ahead.
Rick, question number 2. Which of these ESPN Wisconsin teammates was the first producer of Wilde and Tausch before Jesse took over in 2019? Was that producer Ashton Rotman, Greg Scalzo, or Tony Cartagena?
Ashton Rotman.
No. Tony Cartagena, who, by the way, is texting us, listening to the show right now.
Love Tony.
And he claims that we might have had some information incorrect in a trivia question.
What?
We'll let you guys figure that out.
Question 3.
Which of my former teammates did we have to dump during an appearance on our show for violating FCC regulations by saying a naughty word? Is it Brett Favre, Donald Driver, Charles Woodson?
But probably Brett Favre sounds like he would say something like that. Let us slip.
I love you guys.
Charles Woodson. Nope. Charles Woodson. That's the correct answer. All right, Rick, question 3, your chance.
A lot of history with this show.
It's going well.
Tough.
Rick, question 3. Which of these is not one of the names of a show on ESPN Wisconsin that I hosted prior to Wilde and Tausch launching in August 2016? So one of these names is not an actual name of a show that we did before Tausch came on board. Is it Green and Gold Today, Pack It Up, or Lambeau Live?
Pack It Up.
Indeed. Lambeau Live lasted all of 3 days until a cease and desist letter arrived.
Oh, snap.
But yeah, that is correct. All right. The good news is at least one person got multiple questions right. That would be Rick. Rick, you got 2 out of 3. That means you got 3 of the 4 entries into the drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
And Mark,
you too.
For a first time out, you only got 1, but you still got 2 entries, and you got to interact with another Mark Tauscher, by taking his questions. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you as well.
Sweet. We listen often. Take care. Be well.
Be good.
Right, Mark.
I love you guys.
All right, that is.
I feel like the name Mark is not. It's not being replicated to the degree I wish it was. How many young kids do you hear called Mark?
None.
Alabama.
I'll be a dead.
Mark Sears
not a
is
lot
one
of
of the best
Marks
players on Alabama for their Final Four run or Elite 8 run.
12 and under. How many kids do you hear be, hey, Marky?
Marky Mark of the Funky Bunch. Yeah, not much.
I think Mark might be as almost to the point of Ruth. Like, nobody calls their girls Ruth
nobody,
anymore
there aren't any Jasons 12 and under either. That's a dead name.
Well, thanks to Ozark, we might be getting a
plenty of
resurgence
Jasons,
of Ruths. Thanks to Ozark a couple of years
How many
ago.
Jasons are on teams that Max?
There's a lot of
plays on?
Jasons. There's a lot of Jasons.
Well, good.
There are not many Marks. I don't
Glad
know
it's
any
a
Marks.
superior name. You don't even.
Ruth.
You love that name so much you don't even go by it.
Who doesn't?
You.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
Really? I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Really? Who other than Sarah calls you that?
Rutledge.
My mom does.
Rutledge calls him Mark.
Yeah, Rutledge does. Jimmy. Yep.
All right. Well, whatever you call Tausch, you need to call Gruber Law Offices if you've been injured in an accident. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Go to the website, gruber-law.com. There you'll find out more about everything David and his family do in our communities, the history of the firm, and all the great lawyers that are there as well. Don't call Tausch Mark, but call Gruber Law Offices, 414-276-6666. One call, that's all. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Beauty Rest Black mattresses at Steinhoffels. The new Beauty Rest Black is only $42 per month when you use Steinhoffels 60-month financing only at Steinhoffels. Draft day on the horizon. ESPN's Mel Kiper stopping by Wilde and Tausch breaking down the draft class. The longtime analyst with his thoughts on multiple Badgers, including Hunter Wohlert.
I think he goes day 3. It just depends upon whether it's the 5th, 6th, 7th round area. I liked him at Wisconsin. Obviously, a really good player. He tackles well. He's got a chance in the NFL. We thought Jim Leonard come out of his program, and there we gave him a shot. Look what Jim Leonard developed into. Overall, I think you look at where Wohlert will go. I'd like to say somewhere mid to late day 3.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison. Because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez, they have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s are Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Join me, Hunter Vaughn, and the Dean, Dennis Summerow, this Saturday at 9 a.m. We turn to the baseball and softball seasons, looking at all of the area teams that could make a run to state this year. Plus, we'll be joined by the head baseball coach of the defending Badger Large champions, Monona Grove Silver Eagles, Kevin Connor. Again, join me and the Dean this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Brewers baseball is back.
Bunting it up the first baseline. It's a good bunt. Racing home is done. He will score. Bryce Terrain gets the job done.
Hear the sound of summer right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
But I woke up for yesterday. There's an ordinary world. Somehow I have to find. And as I try to make my way to the ordinary world, I will learn to survive.
We'll get to the 11 o'clock hour momentarily. I made a stop on my drive home. I bet you can guess where I stopped to get a snack, go potty, pick up some Glazers for the family. It was a quick trip to Quick Trip.
A Quick Trip gets it, whether you're craving that fresh coffee, a tasty bakery treat, or a grab-and-go meal. Quick Trip is your go-to. Quick Trip has a variety of apps. Are you now a taco fan? Is that where your head's at? You
The
like those
mini
little
tacos. Yeah, big fan of the mini tacos. Yes, sir.
You guys know I'm a mozzie stick guy. I love those mozzie sticks. They're big and thick, and they got that. It just you look at a mozzie stick. It's all about the mozzarella ratio to the crust on the outside. That's as thick a mozzie stick as you're going to find in the greater Wisconsin area.
I tried a new one last night on my way home, and it was also delightful. Bacon mac and cheese bites. That was a new one. They didn't even have the sign up. It was a handwritten sign for the bacon mac and cheese bites, and were they good. Hot and fresh,
something
crispy.
new for old jelly now. Oh, I love that. And you know what? If you're looking to sweeten up your game, Nature's Touch ice cream. Chocolate and vanilla cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip. No such thing as a bad pick. Right now you can get a gallon for $4.99. You get Nature's Touch milk for $2.99. Breakfast sausage from the Quickery, $2.49. Big old bag of soup I got out of the Prairie Athletic Club this morning. Snow's hit me in the face. I'm getting hit with snow in the face as I'm walking out. You know, it'd be great after a snowy morning, a big old bag of soup.
Bag of soup in the
from
face.
Quick Trip. Yeah. Gotta love that bag of soup. $6.99 on Tuesdays. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. Quick rewards on every visit. Plus, you can order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. Quick Trip, we'll see you next time.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes. So stick around for more.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Chevy Truck Month is back. Get more truck for your buck at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Right now, get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months and $6,000 off MSRP on a 2025 Chevy Silverado. That's right, 2.9% for 6 years. That really is more truck for your buck. But hurry, offer ends on April 30th. Never overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet. No down payment required. Monthly payments equal $15.15 per 1,000 financed with approved credit through GM Financial.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment, complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more. Go to celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. The Green Bay Packers Tailgate Tour made a stop in Madison last night at Garver Feed Mill. ESPN Wisconsin's Jim, Matt, and Molly were on site, joined by Packers President and CEO Mark Murphy, who heard a rumor about the upcoming NFL draft in Green Bay that he wants to make sure he clears the air about.
And the rumor that I have told Brian that he cannot trade out of the first round is not true. I went up to Brian after that, and I said, Brian, if you think the best thing for the Packers is to trade out of the first round, do it. We'll probably get booed, but yeah, I know, you might.
That's Packers President and CEO Mark Murphy joining Jim, Matt, and Molly yesterday. Find the full conversation on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Baseball, the Brewers 17-2 winners over the Colorado Rockies last night, going for the sweep at Coors Field this afternoon, 2:10 first pitch. Bucks hosting the Pelicans tonight at 7 o'clock.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up, no, not me. Even when nobody else believes.
It could begin with the 62-foot putt that Scotty Scheffler made at the Masters. But I'm not really looking for much Masters talk today. Instead...
Oh, I know you're not.
Not after yesterday.
Jeez.
It begins with an exchange. Now, is this going to be Echo City again?
It is going to be Echo City. Not as bad.
You don't have any sort of device to minimize the echoiness?
You would think.
Somebody's not being critical, though, right, Jesse?
Yeah, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Pablo
Well,
was up
Mr.
in
Cool and collected over there.
Pablo
No,
was all
nothing
up in
bothers
Old
me.
T's Grill for this one, so it's loud and clear coming through. Yeah.
Because, as Tausch pointed out earlier in the program, he was annoying.
Uh-huh.
But nobody's being critical except me. Here is what LVN, Lukas Van Ness, who I know some of our fans think hasn't played well enough to even merit a nickname of his initials, said when he was asked about sacking a specific quarterback in the National Football League.
We actually have the question from the fan included on this one, too, because it was
good
presented
stuff.
so well
Yeah,
by
Pablo.
MC Old T.
Oh, let's give it a hear.
Talk of Aaron Rodgers joined the Steelers, and obviously we have him on their schedule this year. How would it feel if you got to sack him?
So where I actually train in the off season is where Aaron trains as well. So we get to have some fun conversation, and it's interesting because the pick that I was selected was for the trade for Rodgers, and so I've had my fair share of talking with him, and I told him if I get the opportunity, I'm coming for him.
Woo! Woohoo! Are the fans rooting for the answer, or are they rooting against Aaron Rodgers and exhibiting their feelings for the former Packers quarterback there? I wasn't in the room. Jesse, how did you interpret that?
So I thought, unlike what Tausch teased in the 9 o'clock hour for those who have been with us all morning, I thought this was actually the most interesting thing that came up from what I
sounds like criticism
observed at the Packers tailgate tour stop last night, because Brett Favre, when he joined the Minnesota Vikings, was very clearly public enemy number one, even though half the fans were still pulling for him, or maybe a little less than half were pulling for him by the time he got to the Vikings.
I know one in particular.
There were a lot more than are pulling for Aaron Rodgers. And with the resurgence of the Detroit Lions being, the most competitive threat to the Packers in the NFC North right now, the Minnesota Vikings with Aaron Jones flipping from Green Bay to Minnesota, and some of the unlikable nature of the Jair Alexander rivalry there with Justin Jefferson. There's been a rivalry there. Caleb Williams and the Bears fans are starting to feel excited. There's always been a clear public enemy number one for Green Bay Packers fans. It's either been Chicago or Minnesota. Russell Wilson was there for a bit. The 49ers were there for a while. Kaepernick. Aaron Rodgers appears to be public enemy number one for Green Bay Packers fans. More so than Detroit, more so than Minnesota, more so than Chicago. That was a heck of an ovation cheering for the thought. And Lukas Van Ness, like you said, last week someone texted it and said he doesn't deserve a 3-letter nickname because he hasn't been any good. For him to get that type of rallying response from all of these diehard Packers fans saying he wants to go sack Aaron Rodgers if he plays for the Steelers, and that a fan even asked that question, that stood out to me, that there is a lot of anti-Rodgers sentiment among Packers Nation. Not that nobody, like the YouTube commenters and the texters that we hear say, nobody cares about Aaron Rodgers. I think everybody cares about Aaron Rodgers, and everybody wants to see him lose wherever he is.
Tausch, do you agree with Jesse's analysis?
Jason, do you think that Aaron Rodgers is public enemy number one in the NFL from the Packer fan standpoint?
I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't
I'm asking
asked
your
Packers
opinion.
fans. I don't. Well, he's not public enemy number one for me. Don't roll your eyes at me. You were at the event. What did you think, Jason? I don't know. How did you interpret that?
I don't ask you any questions, then I do, and you don't answer.
Yeah, that's exactly
I think
what
Jesse's point. I think Jesse's point is there's validity to it. That was a big. Now, there's always going to be. I still think the Bears. There's a lot of anti-Bear talk last night that got a lot of love and applause, too. But yeah, if you're asking me if that little repartee between Lukas Van Ness and that fan and what the fan reaction was, there is a lot. If Aaron Rodgers is playing against the Green Bay Packers this year, I think Packer fans still want their team to win more, and I would argue against Jesse that it's the Detroit Lions, and I think Ben Johnson with the Bears will still be higher than Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Minnesota Vikings, it will be Aaron Rodgers, and it will be a TKO completo.
It wouldn't be a TKO. It would be a thorough, like Michael Spinks then. Look, if he plays for the Steelers, it'll be a great one-week story that everyone will be talking about as they head to Dublin together. Or maybe they won't, according to Mark Murphy. But if he's playing for the Steelers, isn't that essentially just one notch above him playing for the Jets? And the one notch is the fact that they're actually on the schedule. Otherwise, as Barry Alvarez once famously said about Ben Brust, who gives a blank what Ben Brust thinks?
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Brust is great?
I guess I wasn't in the room, but certainly that week will be emotionally charged.
You just heard it. Yeah, it was emotionally charged.
But if you're I'm not here to tell you how to be a fan. But if you don't have a stronger feeling of public enemy-ness for the Bears or for the Lions who beat your team twice last season or the Vikings without Aaron Rodgers than you have for Aaron Rodgers playing in the AFC North, then I don't understand what your pecking order is. I don't get it. Because Aaron Rodgers, if he's playing for your arch rival, hey, have at it. I get it. Totally. I was there for the 2 games against Brett Favre in 2009. And that was a big blanking deal. And if he were to end up, instead of J.J. McCarthy quarterbacking the Vikings, Katie bar the door, as Tausch likes to say. But if he's playing for the Steelers, yeah, 1 week, it's going to be really interesting. Well, Aaron Rodgers playing against his former team. But he really doesn't impact, beyond that one Sunday in Dublin, does not impact your season very much. The Bears, the Vikings.
There's going to be 4 games that are going to be NFC North games.
Playing the Vikings and the Lions and Dan Campbell and the Bears and you went 1-5 in your division. You must just hate Aaron Rodgers then, if that takes precedence. And
I think that's what Jesse's saying.
There's a lot of really good things he did and gave you a lot of time. And this is where the double standard fascinates me, Because Brett Favre, for a lot of fans, he clearly can do nothing wrong, right? I mean, he's whatever it is, they love him anyway. But Aaron Rodgers gave you a lot of great moments during your time as a fan, just like Favre did. And if you feel this strongly about him when he's the quarterback of the Steelers, I don't get it. And maybe somebody smarter than me can explain to me why that would be. Tausch, you're smarter than me. Tell me why.
They think he's arrogant. They don't love how things finished up. I mean, I disagree. I would be more on your camp, but I think that that's a part of it. And like everything else, time heals everything. Aaron Rodgers will be applauded and loved whenever he retires and whenever he comes back, 3 years, 5 years, whatever the Packer Hall of Fame does when he gets inducted. He will be welcomed back in a monster way, just like Brett did, and it will move forward. But while he's still playing, he will not have the same vitriol, and I don't care what happens, that Brett Favre felt in Minnesota. He will not. The vitriol level was here. It will not be that case with Aaron Rodgers if we play the Pittsburgh Steelers. It won't. You cannot replicate what happened that day at Lambeau Field. You can't. And for everybody that was there, they know. You can't. If you can go out, if it was him coming into town as a Steeler.
That was just about to be my question.
Okay, we'll continue then. Go ahead.
What if he came into town as a Steeler, Tausch?
It would be probably much closer, but it would still not be the same because the Vikings, it's just different when you factor all of those things in.
So to Tausch's point, the Steelers do play the NFC North. They play the Lions and the Bears at home in Pittsburgh, or maybe in Dublin, for their one game there. I'm sorry, the other way around. Those are their two road games. They play at Chicago, at Detroit. Their home games are against the Vikings and the Packers. So there is no, if this was, I wish this was Steelers, Packers at Lambeau with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback, because I am very curious how people would react. Would they boo the daylights out of him?
Yes.
Why? Because he's arrogant?
Why would they boo Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, like as to the degree that they booed Favre coming in with the Vikings. Like,
that's a good question.
I don't get it. I would think it would be polite applause.
But in fairness,
and some
you love
booing.
Aaron Rodgers yet. A lot of fans don't.
Luka Doncic went back to Dallas.
He's not getting a Luka reaction.
He's definitely not getting a Luka reaction. Would he cry
Jesse,
if they showed a
boo?
video?
If you woke up, somebody kicked you awake, would you boo?
If I was attending a Packers-Steelers game at Lambeau Field next year and Aaron Rodgers came running out of the tunnel for the Steelers, I would boo Aaron Rodgers as he ran out onto the field, yes.
Pull it. It's an interesting question.
All right, I'll get on that. Coming up next, our friends Kelly Kahl and Sean Hanisch from Just a Bit Outside, the documentary on the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers, which will begin streaming later this week.
A Churio, am I right? Wow.
Did he play in it? He wasn't.
He was not on that team. He was not
he's
alive.
21 years old. He was
on
born
that team
in
last night.
2004.
Hey, he was on that squad last night. Huh?
We will get Kelly and Sean's plans for the new Jackson Churio
torpedo bat. That, huh?
17
Not hearing a lot about
runs.
these torpedoes anymore.
Team's hot.
We'll talk about Just a Bit Outside streaming on Roku coming up. We talked to them when this film came out. It's really, really great, especially if you're one of our older fans who remember the 1982 team like I do. So we'll talk to them coming up next. I want to remind you, Associated Bank has been with us from the beginning, and they've been with the Packers since the beginning as well. They are the official bank of the Packers, but really they're the official bank of you, because the most important thing is you and the great customer service they give you. Credit monitoring, fraud protection, early pay, over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Everything you could ask for and more from a bank. They got a lot of branches, but what's more important is they've got their Wisconsin roots. So go to associatedbank.com to find out more. How's that for an ad lib? It's all on my own. Do you like that?
Really good.
I like
That's
the
nice.
branches
Really
and the
good
roots thing. I'm a fan of that one.
Yep.
I'm also a fan of Kelly and Sean, and they will join us to talk just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at PizzaHut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN.
Lillard's going to tee up a 3, and he splashes it through for the left wing.
Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks.
A monster comeback for the Bucks as they rallied from down 24 in the fourth to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 110-103 at Fiserv Forum. Milwaukee outscored the T-Wolves 40-13 in the final quarter. Giannis notched his 3rd straight triple-double, finished with 22 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Giannis whips it to the near side. 3-pointer. A.J. Green has tied this game at 97, and it is a 3rd straight triple-double for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Welcome back Bobby Portis, who made his return to the lineup following a 25-game suspension. Chipped in a double-double off the bench, 18 points and 10 boards. The 45-34 Bucks welcome the New Orleans Pelicans to the Brew City Thursday night.
This has been your Milwaukee Basketball Report on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Brewers Baseball Academy, presented by Fleet Farm, returns to cities this summer for its 13th year. Kids ages 6 to 14 are invited for a week of instruction and fun, plus a VIP day at American Family Field. Space is limited. Don't miss out. Visit brewers.com/camps for details. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Come see what's brewing Come on and cheer a superstar. Be a believer in Brewer fever. It's fun to join in the cheering. Stomp your feet, clap your
I love this song, and I love that 82 team. Just a Bit Outside is the film. It was just shown at the Wisconsin Film Festival in Madison, and these guys were there. I do want to ask Kelly, because I've seen him at Packers games. Talked to him, asked him what time Murder, She Wrote was on when I saw him, because I like to keep up on my favorite CBS shows. I'm sure he could tell you more history about Dallas. That was on CBS, right?
Sure was.
Yes.
But I
Sure
want
was.
to I want to ask Kelly and Sean a Packers question first. By the way, welcome to the show, Sean Hanisch, Kelly Kahl, the men behind Just a Bit Outside, the documentary on the 1982 Brewers. Join us because the film begins streaming on the Roku channel and on Roku starting tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is the big day?
Yeah.
Perfect. I could finally finish the movie.
You can watch it as many times as you like.
Just like I never finished the 60-yard line. Before we get started on the film, though, because you guys joined us when it was coming out, and it was awesome, and we're excited to talk about it again and help spread the word that it's going to be on Roku. Kelly, you're definitely a Packers fan. Sean, you are too, or no?
I am a Packers fan. In fact, I have season tickets.
All right, perfect.
That were passed down from my grandfather.
Sean should also give another. Sean should give another relevant piece of information about him and the Packers.
Yeah, but my great uncle actually played on the first team in 1919 and 1920. The first two teams. He was a 165-pound offensive and defensive tackle named Al Petsk. Yeah.
So he played with Curly Lambeau, who we talked about yesterday for a little while after we talked about the Masters. So here's the thing. Lukas Van Ness was part of the Tailgate tour. Tausch, as you guys could probably imagine knowing him, great MC for an event. And a fan asked a question about the possibility of Rodgers quarterbacking the Steelers and if Lukas Van Ness is excited for the chance to sack him. And he got a big crowd, a lot of excitement, cheers, and woo with his answer. But here's the question we're asking. If that game was at Lambeau instead of in Pittsburgh or perhaps in Dublin, would you boo Aaron Rodgers? So how would you two answer? Would you boo or would you be silent or quietly clap? How would you react if Rodgers came back to Lambeau with the Steelers?
I'm 100% booing.
Okay. Sean?
I'm more silent, honestly. I if it was, I was listening to you guys before we came on. If it was, if he came back like Favre did as the quarterback for the Vikings, or let's say the Bears or the Lions, then boo lustily. But really, I think Pittsburgh. Listen, guys, this is last go around. I think quietly. Plus, I think we're gonna smack him upside the head.
Lukas Van Ness certainly thinks so. Just so you know, so we can get into our discussion just a bit outside. As of right now, with 45 votes in the last 2 minutes, 79.7% they would not boo. They would politely clap or be silent. Kelly and the booers are at 20.3%. So,
say Brewers or Booers?
Booers. Booers.
Oh, okay.
But let's transition to Brewers. That's very savvy. All right, Kelly, fill us in first because, and I don't want to throw Tausch under the bus, but I'm going to. He has some issues with various streaming services. Now, I don't think Roku is on the list. Peacock is his archenemy.
Yep.
But how do we see Just a Bit Outside starting tomorrow?
Two ways. One, if you have kind of the Roku stick or the Roku operating system, it's very easy. It'll pop right up. It should be on the home screen, and that's one of the reasons we decided to go to Roku. Is they said they'd promote us, which was fantastic. If you end up on another service and they don't promote you, how does anybody know you're there? And Roku is awesome about saying, we will promote you, we'll put you all over the place. If you don't have the Roku operating system, you can simply go to the RokuChannel.com. It pops right up. You can search for it. It should also be there the first few days. And then you can, do it on your laptop, do it on your tablet, stream it to your TV. And I think the best thing about all of it, it's all 100% free. No sign up, no nothing, no subscription.
Nice.
Yeah, just log on and go. It's pretty easy, and we're
Tausch
excited
is
about
in.
that.
So
for sure.
Hey guys, so I know you just mentioned why you picked Roku, but can you kind of take us through, because when we put out a hit movie, The 60-Yard Line, trying to get streamers and Netflix and all that, how does that all work? You put it in film festivals. Jason mentioned you were just down here. Can you kind of take us through that process?
Well,
Sean, go ahead.
I mean, Tausch, I think the thing that really, really helped our film gain visibility was the theatrical that we did back in September and October with Marcus, mostly with Marcus Theaters, and then we worked with a bunch of independent theaters around the state. I mean, it really lifted the profile. I think the fact that we currently have a 100% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes helped a lot. I think, we thought we were going to be in theaters for a week, and we ended up in theaters for 2 months. So, I think people took a little bit of notice, and that really helped. It's tough sailing out there. We pitched a whole bunch of places, and fortunately, Roku ended up, really getting excited about this, and we're just so pumped that people can watch it for free. But that's kind of been the journey. I think ironically, in a time right now where people don't, watch that many movies in theaters, that's what really kind of, helped us out a ton.
Yeah, it was great. I watched it to completion, unlike some people on this panel. And a couple of things. It was emotional. The Robin Yount part, Kelly, I know we talked about that and how emotional he got. But can you guys kind of take us in? Because since we've talked last, obviously, Bob Uecker has passed, and we've seen the impact and how every team is giving a tribute to him. But I remember in the movie watching where it was before Game 6 or 7 when they're all out, out having a couple of beers, and Ueck is out there with them trying to find a way back to the hotel. Can you kind of just talk about your conversations with the players and with Ueck, and then your own personal stories about Bob Uecker too, because that obviously is a huge part of the movie.
I mean, to me, the interesting thing is, and we've heard it all the way through to, until last fall, they considered him a part of the team. Uecker was out with them every night, the 82 crew, and they were closing bars together. He threw batting practice every day to Yount, Molitor, and Cooper, sometimes Don Money. He had a uniform on. He joked that he had a uniform on more when he was pitching BP than when he was actually playing. And he was one of the guys. There was no question about that, and I don't think that ever left.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that the opportunity to interview him was kind of once in a lifetime. I know we were one of his last interviews, and I brought my son, who's 10 years old, was 10 years old at the time, and at the end of it, just to show you how quick he was up until the very last. I brought my son, and my son's name is Cannon. And so I, said at the end, Mr. Uecker, this is my son, Cannon. And without missing a beat, he said, "How you doing, Cannon? I'm Shotgun." And, that's kind of how he was. He was just, so quick. He made everybody, when he walked into a room, he wanted to, he cracked a joke. He wanted you to be comfortable, which is, his level of kindness, and, he just was truly, truly a great man, and an incredible ambassador for the state and the city, and obviously the Brewers. I think Robin said at one point, he's bigger than the Brewers. So he will be sorely missed, but never forgotten.
Yeah, and the Brewers are actually using some of our interview footage in their video tribute packages, which is
that's awesome.
A huge honor for us.
Talking with Sean Hanish and Kelly Kahl about Just a Bit Outside, the documentary on the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers that begins streaming on your Roku and the Roku channel tomorrow. And then they'll get to work on Tauscher's brilliant idea of the Jackson Churio documentary. It'll be a short film because he hasn't been in the league very long, so you might want to wait a while. One of the questions, though, I remember because Kelly, you'd obviously been on our show before for other stuff with the Greater Bucky Open, and for me to ask you what time Murder, She Wrote was on, which is not exactly what happened that day. But when I saw this originally break that you were working on this, and obviously I know you, but your name was attached to it right away, obviously, because this is you guys' idea. I was really excited, but there was a tiny part of me, kind of like with the draft being in Green Bay, where I was a little nervous. Like I was going to build it up to be this big thing, and it was going to be a letdown. I assure anybody who's going to watch this, even though the link that Kelly sent me expired before I finished the movie, it is unbelievably good. You will not be disappointed. I got a lot going on. You will not be disappointed.
I think you missed the best part, by the way. The ending is the best part.
Great. Now I have something to look forward to tomorrow. It worked out perfectly. I can also buy the DVD on Amazon for $19.88. Here's the thing. I am curious for both of you. I know why this team is so important to me, right? I was 10 years old then, same age as Cannon when he met Bob Uecker, right? I've told this story. It's one of my favorite stories to tell, although it doesn't paint my dad in a great light. But my dad kind of berating me when they came back from Baltimore when we met the team at the airport and being nervous about approaching players as they're coming down the walkway, and Don Sutton putting his arm around me and bringing me over and introducing me to players, some random kid he'd never met. So that I know why this story resonates with me. Explain, because clearly the Roku channel believes it's not just people like me who grew up in Milwaukee that this story hits. So why do you guys think this has a wider appeal beyond just Brewers fans? Because it clearly does. Otherwise, Roku's not picking it up.
Well,
I'll
tell you. Oh, go, Kelly, go.
I think this is a universal story, and Sean's going to explain this better than I can. But go to sports. Most teams don't win in the end. Most players, their season ends in heartbreak, and that's the more common. There's tons of documentaries out there about the teams that won. But for most teams, most years, 96% of the players and their fans, end in disappointment. And I think but the unique thing about this is that, the city came back and showed their love, even though it ended in disappointment.
I mean, I totally agree. I'd like to also add, I think, Jason, your story kind of gets at the essence of why people fell in love with this team. It was a time in which players could go into the parking lot after games and, essentially have a beer with people. You'd see them out at the bars. They also, their entire ethos was work hard, play hard, really play hard. And that's, I think that people in Milwaukee, even us kids were like, we really dug that we had guys that were going to kill themselves to try to win games. And, there's something about Wisconsin sports fans that, being one of, being a dyed-in-the-wool Wisconsin sports fan, if our players are out there trying their best and giving it all, respect. We love them. Listen, they don't have to come home with the brass ring every time. It's awesome when they do. But, if the fact that they're out there fighting for the team and fighting for us, we love that. And that speaks a lot to kind of the character of people of Wisconsin. And this team did that in spades. They went out there and they tried their best, and their backs up against the wall so many times, and came through so many times, except the last time. And the people were like, heck yeah, we're going to throw them a parade. Who cares if they lost? They won to us.
All right, again,
guys, do you think if the same story plays out and they lose a Game 7 in the World Series in 2025, do you think that the city of Milwaukee would do a parade like that?
Good question.
Wow.
I don't know. I know this team was special. Sean and I were up at the Tavern League convention in Wausau a couple days ago, and we showed the movie. And to Sean's point, I can't tell you how many people came up after and told stories about Jim Slayton left me 5 tickets. I had a beer at Gorman and Vuk's bar, and they were there, and Vuk was tending bar. I don't know if we can have the same relationship. I love Jackson Churio already, but I don't know if I could have the same feeling I had, that maybe I had for Gorman Thomas.
All right, last thing for you, and again, Roku is streaming this, and Tausch is going to love this part, for free. If you have Roku on your TV, you have the stick. You don't have to sign up to watch, like you have to watch Badgers games on Peacock. This is all free. The RokuChannel.com you can go to. It starts tomorrow. Last thing. So you guys both have accomplished a ton in your careers, right? Sean, you've been doing all kinds of directing and writing over the years. Kelly, I don't know if this is an accurate depiction, but you ran CBS, which is kind of a big deal. I am wondering, though, this was your passion project, you two. Do you have the, shall I say, biography or documentary itch now to do something else? And have you considered the Mark Tauscher story? No. Have you considered, do you want to do more of this kind of stuff? Because this, I can tell you, I have had so many friends who went to see it in the theater or bought the DVD. Not even friends that necessarily listened to the show that knew that you guys were friends of ours that were on the show, that were like, oh, my God, have you seen this documentary on the 82 Brewers? It resonated in a huge way. Does that give you any desire, maybe not with all your own money next time, to do this again?
I'm not sure we'll ever find anything that means as much to us. We were both teenagers, and we were at that exact right age where you're old enough to know what's going on, and you're old enough to also have it stick with you the rest of your life. That being said, we've got all sorts of people kind of coming to us with stories now. Tausch Gilbert Brown came up to us yesterday or 2 days ago at the Tavern Convention, literally Tavern League Convention, ran up to us after we were done, and he said, "When are we doing a Packers doc?"
This is what I'm saying.
Would be my thing. That would be my thing. I got to tell you guys, if we were to do one thing, it'd be a Packers doc. I mean, bleeding green and gold, as so many of us do. That'd be next. But to Kelly's point, you got to find that right hook, and this, right. Just a bit outside with the 82 Brewers had the right hook. We'll get there with the pack, though.
All right, well, the Mark Tauscher story coming to a Cineplex near you in 2028. In the interim, you guys, we're so happy for your success. I am legitimately excited to finish the movie tomorrow. And we've been huge cheerleaders for you guys from the very beginning, and it's been great to see just how much this resonated. We're glad to help you guys get the word out again. It is on Roku and the RokuChannel.com starting tomorrow, streaming for free. And it is more than worth the price of admission. It is definitely worth it. Guys, we appreciate it.
We can't thank you enough for your help.
Yes.
You guys have been tremendous, and word of mouth has meant everything to this. I'll just lastly add, we got a call yesterday. Baseball Hall of Fame is going to show our movie in Cooperstown over Memorial Day, which is yet another really cool honor for us.
Yes. Awesome.
Well, you're Hall of Famers in our book. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Thanks for all your support, guys. Appreciate it.
Those are our friends Sean Hanisch and Kelly Kahl promoting again just a bit outside, available on Roku starting tomorrow. So be sure to tune in if you haven't seen it yet.
I'll answer that question that I asked. There would not be a parade in 2025.
Yeah, because 2025 coming in second isn't nearly good enough, right?
Well, I think it's more the connect. I don't know connectivity-wise. Maybe I'd be wrong because I think the city of Milwaukee. Maybe. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Okay.
I don't think they would.
If Wisconsin football lost the national championship game, I could see there being a parade.
So was there a parade after the Badgers lost to Duke?
There was not.
That would have been the team.
Yeah.
That team is eerily similar to the 82 Brewers to me.
I guess I don't remember if they did like a welcome back, like, congratulations.
A welcome back is not a parade.
Did you see
Have
parade.
you seen the movie, Jesse? Have you seen the movie?
I went and saw it with my mom and dad. We loved it. It was amazing.
That was
going
a
to see it in the
full-on
fall.
parade.
It was, yes.
That was a parade.
Mm-hmm.
Get-togethers ain't a parade. Okay?
So a pep rally or a welcome back
not a parade.
celebration at the Kohl Center is not the same as a parade. It needs to be on wheels, moving around town to be qualify in your book for this.
There you go. Them's the rules. Also, there's some rules for our very exciting Kohler Services contest. Tausch has, checked Good Karma. For the
Fun
rules.
little video coming out. Yeah, you know what? If you got an ugly blanket shower and you think it's one of the ugliest, or you just think that it ain't good, you don't have a good shower, you want something different, upload your photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free, just like on Roku, a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan. A free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition and removal of your existing shower, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. Upload your photo by the end of April to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win a free Lugstone shower remodel.
This is much more than just a free shower door, a free shower door. So, again, make sure you enter. It's a pretty awesome opportunity that we're putting together with Kohler Services. A very abbreviated Whoa Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah,
everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's our lowest prices of the season, in-store and online at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, shop the season's best values on supplies to make projects your own. Like select DeWalt 20-volt tool batteries, just $37 while supplies last. Save 20% on assorted Longfield spring bulbs. Assorted DIY oil change essentials, also 20% off. And a Kurt loaded trailer hitch mount with 2-inch ball, $29.99. Don't miss our lowest prices of the season, only at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
We're on the Packers.
If they're not better this year,
because we're on Wisconsin sports,
there's going to be a lot of seats warming up.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Dancing on the edge, got to take it too far. Messing with my head, how I'm missing your eye. If you wake up in your bed, alone in the dark, I'm sorry. Gotta leave before you love.
Time now for a very brief Whoa No.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Quick one for you. Luka Doncic returning to Dallas for the first time last night since he was unexpectedly, surprisingly, shockingly traded before the NBA trade deadline, sparking an entire new term for Tausch when we talk basketball and trades around here. He was applauded not only before the game with a video tribute, not only when they introduced him in the starting lineup. Every time he touched the ball last night, the fans cheered, applauded, supported him. Have you ever seen anything like this in sports? A road player returning and being cheered this much while the fans almost hate their own team and are cheering for a player that they traded to another team that is as notable as the Lakers, and they support him still through all of it.
No, I haven't, and I think someone should do an expose or dig in deep to why this happened, because it's one of the dumbest trades we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense at all. If you're going to trade him because you think he's overweight and he's not going to be a great player, okay, well then go get max value. You don't do like a covert deal that you call somebody, hey man, I'm thinking about doing this. It makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. You ruined
to get Giannis first.
No, you ruined a franchise.
Yeah.
You turned your entire fan base against you. This isn't some 40-year-old washed-up cat. He's 26 years old. And you traded him for Anthony Davis, a nice player. It's going to go down as potentially the worst trade in the history of the world.
That's up there.
I mean, it is.
You're right. You're not wrong.
I think you're going to look at this. You're going to look at this similarly to when the United States made the Louisiana Purchase, and you look back and say, How on earth did we pull that off? The Louisiana Purchase is the Luka Doncic of NBA trades.
What if we get Greenland? All right, that is Whoa Nelly.
Territory to be named later.
You're going to be interested.
I mean, getting Alaska the way we did, too, is quite the deal. But the Louisiana Purchase and Luka Doncic will be put in the same sentence as far as the greatest heists of all time.
You're going to be interested to hear where the poll question about booing Aaron Rodgers is at. Let's just say Kelly Kahl is in the minority. We'll wrap the show up by telling you where things stand next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Badgers.
The expectations for Badger basketball that I have to let go of was the Bo Ryan expectation.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And that's not Greg Gard's fault. That's the NCAA's fault.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Draft day on the horizon. ESPN's Mel Kiper stopping by Wilde and Tausch, breaking down the draft class. The longtime analyst with his thoughts on multiple Badgers, including Hunter Wohler.
I think he goes day 3. It just depends upon whether it's the 5th, 6th, 7th round area. I liked him at Wisconsin. Obviously, a really good player. He tackles well. He's got a chance in the NFL. We thought Jim Leonard come out of his program, and there we gave him a shot. Look what Jim Leonard developed into. Overall, I think you look at where Wohler will go. Like I say, somewhere mid to late day 3.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella Windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident.
Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day.
We'll see where this poll winds up and talk about it tomorrow. But as of right now, with 300 votes in, 73.1% of you would not boo Aaron Rodgers if he returned to Lambeau Field with the Steelers. You would politely clap or be silent. 26.9% of you would boo. You may boo our show today, or you thought it was awesome. Either way, we're glad you came along for the ride. Thanks to Sean Hanish and to Kelly Kahl for joining us, and thanks to you for coming along for the ride with us. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are